Hello everyone, welcome to the Connecting the World show, and I'm your host Moin Bathun. Today we have a guest from USA, and his name is Mr. Jeff Griffin. And Jeff is from USA, and what he's doing, from where he is, and what he do for a living. So I'm going to tell you in a short, a brief introduction that Mr. Jeff is a champion for change, and he's the father of four children. So without any wasting of time, I'm going to invite my guest, Mr. Jeff. Hello, Mr. Jeff. How are you?
Great, great. Monaim, how are we doing today? This is
I'm
fantastic.
doing. It's a fantastic. It's just like the end of the day and starting of the new day. It's 12 a.m. there.
Oh, wow. Well, I'm glad you stayed up. I'm glad you stayed up for this. If this is live, anyone else who is up, I'm telling
Yeah,
you right now, let's make this very impactful for you.
sure. Okay, Jeff. First of all, I want to know you more about who is Mr. Jeff, where are you from, and what you exactly do in your life.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. First of all, thank you for allowing me to be a part of your platform and your connections and your people. I people tend to describe me as a motivational speaker, but I like to think of myself as a transformational speaker, somebody that not just motivates and inspires, but actually gives people some tools and some skills to reassess what's possible, and really transform them into something better, something, and help them renew the real you, because so often we live beneath our privilege. We live beneath our privilege, and again, I believe that all things were created by God, and God wants us to have all things, and so we need to think better. And so that's what I do. I go around and I just share this message of hope, this message of you are the solution to impossible, that we have the ability inside ourselves to overcome our challenges, accomplish our dreams, and do those things that we've been created for. And so I just go all over the world. I met one of your guests in Sweden. I was invited to Sweden. Some people, compare me to the David Goggins of speaking without the language, without the mouth, without using the bad words. Other people have compared me to Tony Robbins at a fraction of the price, but just as impactful. Other people have, compared me to John Maxwell, where it comes to the spiritualness and whatnot. But I just like to think that I'm me. I'm me, and you're you, and we all have uniqueness that we're here to give to the world. So again, thank you for allowing me to be here.
Thank you so much. Okay, now let's talk more about you, and I want to know more about you. That what's exactly your education background, and what in which subject you did your majors.
Yeah, absolutely. And if I can give you a little bit more context before that, I wasn't interested in education. I wasn't interested in teaching the world. When I was a little kid, my dream was to play football in college. Not football, soccer, nor the cricket, which is I think very, very popular at your place. But I wanted to play football, American football, and that was my dream. And I told somebody my dream, and they're like, "You can't do that. You're too short. You're too slow. You're too white." I'm like, "Okay, too short, too slow, too white." And they gave me all the reasons why I couldn't go and chase down my dream or even play, football in college. And fortunately, I didn't listen to them. The song that sang to my soul was to go play football. And I chased down that dream, and I got to experience it. I got to taste the sweetness of success. But if I would have listened to the experts who are all around us, right? Everyone around us thinks that they're the expert. They think they know what's best for us than we know for us. And generally speaking, other people base our possibilities on their limitations. Or in other words, we base other people's possibilities on our limitations. And what we need to do is we need to stop rejecting what we don't understand, and we need to start basing our understanding on what we can do, because we reject what we don't understand and we base our possibilities on what we know. And so that was my dream, and I was able to taste that dream. And the beauty of it is because of that, it kind of trajected me, and kind of I discovered some flecks of gold that I hope to share with you here in a second or two. But I went on to get a master's in education and curriculum. So I've got my master's in education curriculum, been teaching in the high school and university levels for 16 years. I hung that up 3.5 years ago to pursue my dream of speaking on stage and being that world-renowned speaker that I've always dreamt of being.
That's great. That's great. Okay, now let's start about your passion, about your work, as you are a life coach and you are a motivation speaker, and you are doing motivation, doing motivating people to different kind of people around the world. As you already mentioned, you went to some other countries for a sessions. So why you choose this field? What was the main reason behind to choose this field to be a motivation speaker or be a champion for change?
Yeah, great question. Thank you, Numain. What you can't tell is that I'm in a wheelchair. I did get to go play football in college. I got to taste the sweetness of success. But what people don't know right now is in between seasons, I went home and was working. I was on a ladder and some construction scaffolding, and I was up 40 feet up in the air. So I think that's probably what, 15 meters up in the air. And the ladder tipped over, the scaffolding tipped over, and I came straight down and landed and stuck the landing. I broke my back. I was given a 0% chance of ever walking, standing, or moving again. And so I always address the elephant on this, in the room whenever I come out on stage. I'm like, hey, you guys, let's just address the elephants, which is let's just address the obvious right now, Captain Obvious, and that is how good looking I am. I'm completely joking about that, but I am in a wheelchair. And most people, I believe, it seems, I may be physically paralyzed, but it seems like most people, if not all, are paralyzed from the demons of doubt, fear, and complacency. And so those demons of doubt, those demons of fear, those demons of complacency keeps us from orchestrating and conducting the song that sings in our soul. And if we continue to listen to the experts all around us that are telling us all the things that we can and can't do, then we're not going to do very much, because all they want us to do is what their dreams are. And so that's really, my desire and my motivation is to help people overcome their mental paralysis so that they can pick up the pieces, they can gather them up, they can use the process that I've developed over these last 10 years of research and real life results, and then they can apply them and put them into practice, and then they can accomplish their own dreams and desires. And so it's beautiful, because a lot of people don't know what they want. A lot of people don't know what they want, but the majority of us know what we don't want. And so there's the paradox, there's the problem, because we just don't know what we want. And so we have a process to help us understand what we really want. We dissect what a desire is, and we go take a look at the steps that are necessary to accomplish those dreams and those desires. And it's been a fantastic and beautiful ride so far. We've helped hundreds of thousands of people pick up the pieces, create their dreams, conduct and orchestrate the song that sings in their soul, and really just go after it. And once you've identified your vision, you've identified your why, instead of being pushed and prodded, you're being called. You're being called by that vision. You're being called by that purpose that's inside you. And life turns from black and white into color.
Okay, now I have one more question that a lot of people talk about how to get unstuck or how to get off from these situations. I want to ask some different kind of question, like how people get stuck in some kind of challenges.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Why do people get stuck? Yeah,
Yeah.
I think there's 3 reasons. I think there's 3 main reasons. One is because of our choices that we make personally. the choices that we make causes us to get stuck, right? They're contrary to the laws. They're contrary to the laws of the land. They're contrary to the laws of the universe, or the laws of God, whomever you call our creator. And so whenever our choices are contrary to the laws of life, as I call them, we get stuck because we're not doing what's needed to receive the consequences. And whenever we talk about consequences, most people refer and relate consequences with what? Positive or negative experiences and results. Most people associate consequences with the negative, but consequences are a result of our actions and our choices. So if I choose to be healthy, I'm going to have some positive consequences. If I choose to be kind and considerate and help my brother out, I'm going to have positive consequences most of the time. Not always, but the majority of the time, because we're dealing with other human beings. But if we're following the laws of life with exactness, we're going to receive the consequences. We're going to receive the blessings. It's called the law of harvest. Whatever I reap, whatever I sow is what I'm going to reap. So if I plant goodness, I'm going to reap goodness. If I plant badness, I'm going to reap badness. And so my choices, my individual choices, is what causes me to get stuck most of the time. That's the main one, right? And I love how fruit is true to its nature. If we apply pressure to fruit, what's coming out?
Juice.
Juice, absolutely. Every single time I apply pressure to a fruit, juice is coming out. If I apply pressure to an apple, what's coming out?
Apple juice.
Apple juice. If I apply pressure to a pineapple, pineapple juice. If I apply pressure to a peach, peach juice. Pears, pear juices. If I apply pressure to an apple, I'm not going to get pineapple. I'm going to get apple juice. But what's interesting here in your mind is when we apply pressure to human beings, we are one of the few creations that's not true to its nature. Because when we apply pressure to human beings, what comes out is what we've put in. And so that's why it starts right here. It starts with what are we putting into our minds? What are we putting into our cultures? How are we connecting with each other? What standards and laws are we living? And the greatest law is to love God. And we can call God whatever we want to. We can give him all sorts of labels, right? Our creator, I call him Heavenly Father. And so if we choose, the greatest law is to love him. And the second greatest law is to love each other. And so it's so important for us to live the laws of life. We got to understand the laws and we have to live them, because once we live those laws, we're going to receive the consequences. And they're beautiful. And so the main reason why we get stuck is because of us, our choices.
Okay, now I have one more question. Like you tell about the stuck. Now, how to get unstuck from these consequences, from this situation?
Yeah, absolutely. So if our choices causes us to get stuck, what can we surmise? If we want to get unstuck, what do we have to do? We have to change our actions. Our thoughts, our actions are produced by thoughts, right? So our thoughts produce actions, our actions produce, habits, our habits produce character, and our character creates our destiny. And so if we want to change our results, we're going to have to change our thinking. If George Bernard Shaw is accurate, he says that 2% of the population think, 3% of the population think they think, and 95% of the population would rather die than think. So there's 98% of the population that don't think, that we just allow everyone else to do our thinking, to let our culture do our thinking, to let our religion do our thinking, to let each other do our thinking. But if we truly want to take control and create a life by design instead of by default, we're going to have to start thinking. And different isn't always better, but better is always different. And so if we want to make things better, we're going to have to think different. And so we've got to understand, what are these laws? What are these laws that are going to produce the results that I want? And so people don't know them. People don't understand them. They're unaware of them. And the beauty of it is they're not hidden. They're not hidden. All we have to do is seek and search and ask, and we'll find. And so that's what I do. I go around and I share people how to get unstuck by changing their thoughts, how to get back up by giving them some skills and tools to help them move forward. And together, I instead of being a sage on the stage, I get to be their guide by their side. And we have this process and this procedure, and we have these tools that allow them to really unpackage it all, put it all together, and then move forward and go and accomplish their dreams that are inside them.
Okay. As we talked earlier about why people got stuck, as one thing comes into my mind right now, that the people, those who don't have confidence, they got stuck in the problems.
Yeah, confidence is huge. Well, we don't understand that. We think of confidence as so that person has such great self-confidence. That person is so courageous, or that person is walking around like, what? Absolutely, I am important. And the truth is, we're all important. Not by the things that we have, not by the money that we have, but we're all important for the fact of where we come from, and who we were created in the image of. And we all have royalty within us, within our DNA, our spiritual DNA. We are just 1 degree away from royalty, every single one of us on this earth. And so confidence is created by experiencing success. And success comes from consistently and persistently doing the things that are necessary to receive the rewards or the awards that come. And so confidence is wonderful. We sit back and we want other people to give us, recognition. We want other people to tell us how amazing we are. But really, it's our responsibility to remember that we're already important, that we already are, sons and daughters of our Heavenly Father and our Heavenly Mother, who have created us. And so that's the beauty of it, is all we have to do is remember who we are. And a lot of times that has to do with our daily habits and our righteous routines. I call them holy habits and righteous routines. What are you doing before you go to bed? And what are you doing right after you wake up? And what are you doing in between that time? That's what's going to increase your confidence. And we have a program that's it's so impactful. It's simple, just not easy. And so it's just, I'm just so excited to be able to share it with everybody. But like the Navy SEALs told me, I went and trained with the Navy SEALs, and they're like, Griff, it's simple to be a Navy SEAL. It's just not easy. These tools and these skills and these processes and these procedures that we have available, 10 steps that world record leaders follow and finish with exactness. If you follow those steps with exactness, you're going to get the results, world record results. And they're simple, just not easy. But if you continue to do it, you're going to find the simplicity on the far side of complexity. You're going to find that life isn't that difficult, isn't that complicated. It's just a matter of doing the small things right. It's doing the right things right.
Right things in the right. Okay, I got it. Now, I would like to ask, like, we talk about how to get stuck and how to get unstuck. So now I would love to know about that. How to get back from the situation where we get stuck, and we need to come back with something like that. If we want to do, if we want to give some major challenge, and we have some major challenge, and we have to get back from this issue, how to get back from this issue.
Yeah, absolutely. I call it the possibility principle. In fact, I just wrote on our private chat an email address that people can reach out to us if they want this possibility principle. We'll send it to you for free. It's worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, in my opinion, if not millions. Because if you understand this one principle, it's going to change your life forever. And so this possibility principle is going to create a P squared mindset. This P squared mindset is going to help you take your desires and match them up with your dreams. And once you do that, it's going to unlock the floodgates of imagination to where life becomes to, be experienced in color. You get to smell, you get to taste, you get to experience life in color. This P squared mindset will help you understand that that the opposite of success is not failure. And it's okay to fail, because failures at first are triumphs at last, as long as you just don't quit. Now, there's a certain point where you have to get it right. I don't want my airline pilot to get it wrong, to fail. I don't want my surgeon to fail. I don't want certain things to fail. But when we're starting to learn something new, which is to get unstuck or to not get stuck in the first place, and then to get back up and chase down my dreams, it's something new that we haven't done before. And so you have to give yourself permission to fail. And this P squared mindset is going to also help you understand that it's to be comfortable being uncomfortable, because it's in the struggle that we find the strength. So in this year of COVID, this challenge that's been given to the whole world, this could be an opportunity for you to grow. Not just to grow, but to grow exponentially, to really take this challenge and take your life to a new level. To take this pressure and say, you know what? I don't like the results that I'm getting, so I'm going to change my habits and I'm going to change my routines. And the possibility principle helps you with that. The possibility principle teaches you that it's the process and not the promise that helps you progress. But so often we focus on the promise and we abort the process. But it's the process that helps us progress. And of course, the last thing that comes with this possibility principle, this P squared mindset, is it teaches you what hope is. Now, hope without doing anything is just hope. It's empty. They say faith without works is dead. Angela Duckworth, in her book called Grit, says that gritty people are hopeful people. I like to flip it upside down. I disagree with her. I think that that hopeful people are gritty people. And to me, hope is the ability to reach out to the future and grab onto your dreams and bring it back to the present in spite of your past. In spite of your failures, in spite of your stumbles, in spite of your mistakes, in spite of your poor choices, in spite of your past. This P squared mindset will help you keep from getting stuck, help you get unstuck, and help you move forward and create and conduct and orchestrate that song that sings in your soul, to create your tapestry of dreams that hangs on somebody else's social media wall. But again, if you email me at contact@griffinmotivation.com and you request this possibility principle, we'll send you it out for free, which is, I believe, one of the most impactful principles that we can understand. And it's simple. It really is. Just not easy, but it is simple. And so I will send that out to anybody who requests it on us. It's free.
That's great. And I think that's the best gift if someone want to do this in their life, and they want some change in their life. Yeah. And they want to get back from these kind of issues.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, Jeff, thank you so much for your precious time. I know you have to go somewhere, but in the end, I would love to hear some positive message from your side. If you want to give a positive message to our youth, to our audience.
Yeah, my message to the world is just don't quit. There might be times where you want to struggle, you want to give up on others, you want to give up on yourself. Just don't quit. You have the ability to achieve your dreams and desires. You come from infinite intelligence. You really do have the ability to follow such faith and create a resilient, concentrated, and consistent routine that will help you accomplish your dreams and desires. If we would just turn and see what we could do for others, and reciprocate that over and over and over again, this world would be a different place. Love, love one another as I have loved you, is my plea. That we can learn to find what we have in common, focus on what we can do instead of what we can't do, focus on what we do have in common instead of what we don't have in common, because we are so much more alike than we are different. And so just don't quit. Don't quit on each other. Don't quit on yourself. Don't quit on your dreams. And especially don't quit on you.
Thank you
Impossible?
so.
I'm
No,
possible.
it's I think in the world nothing is impossible,
Yeah. Yeah.
and we have to believe in it.
Yeah. And not just
Everything
believe
is
in it, but we have to do something about it.
exactly, and we
Absolutely.
have to do something for this.
My name, thank you so much for inviting me. I appreciate this opportunity. Perhaps if your listeners enjoyed that the possibility principle, maybe we'll come back again and share some other things. But I love the fact that you're connecting the world. The world is starting to get smaller now that we have this technology and whatnot, and hopefully we can focus on the things that we have in common instead of the things that we um, are different, and the differences are not that much, in my opinion. I've been all over the world. I've been to Sri Lanka, Sweden, Nepal, China, Japan, Asian countries, Middle East, Eastern countries, Europe, um, North and South America, and we all come from the same creator. And so, anyway, thank you
Exactly.
so much for allowing me to be with you today.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jeff. You give your precious time. It was such an honor for me to have you on my show. Now we have to end our show here, and it's time to say good night, goodbye, take care.